Today, Will Smith posted a YouTube apology video
Big
for
Zaddy
slapping
Moist.
Chris Rock at the Oscars. And when I saw it, I had to scratch my head and wonder why. It happened so long ago. I was confused. Why is he apologizing now? I felt like Robin Williams coming out of Jumanji asking what year it was. And then I remembered that happened this year. It was 4 months ago that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock.
I'm not gonna lie, chat. That slap felt like it was a year ago. And it's only been 4 months. I don't know why it feels like that slap was a year ago.
Rock's head clean off his shoulders at the Oscars. He turned an award ceremony into a public execution when he blasted Chris Rock to Valhalla, just banishing him to the Shadow Realm with a slap. Oh baby, that's right. He starts this with the most generic YouTuber apology intro imaginable.
Here's my question, right? Okay, look, understandable. Everybody always shits on people whenever they do a YouTuber apology, right? They go in, they do the... What else could they do, chat? Can somebody tell me what else could they do if they're gonna make an apology video? Like, I actually want to know. Just pop in. Yo, this is how the internet fucking wants people to do these shits. Hold on. Bro, I forgot the song name. You said Travis Scott apology? Okay, I gotta find a song real quick. Hell yeah, some shit like this off of Audio Jungle. We need like a generic happy song. Let me hear this shit. Oh my god. I'm gonna start the video. Yo, apology retro, bro. Oh fuck. Guys, you caught me. I'm actually the headmaster of Coinbase. I've been taking a cut out of all y'all payments during the crypto and the stock market. I also own Robinhood. You guys caught me. But fuck y'all. Thanks for the millions, bitch. Fuck y'all. Thank you for the millions. I'm about to go get my dick sucked by the Queen of England. Oh, you said the tears. I forgot the tears. Oh, fuck. Let me close it. All right, we're back. Holy shit.
Fuck into a big sigh right before getting into the actual apology. Textbook.
I want my free crypto.
He's clearly been trained by some of the YouTuber apology greats like Logan Paul, Laura Lee, Tati. I mean, this is perfection here. Every box of YouTuber apology cliche gets ticked immediately except for one. He didn't bring his dog into it. A lot of YouTubers like to bring in an animal in order to, you know, deflect some of the criticism with cuteness with the animal. Will Smith, unfortunately, must have forgot that prop this time around, but everything else he nails.
Why didn't you apologize to Chris in your acceptance speech? I was fogged out by that point. It's all fuzzy.
So the main thing he's doing in the apology video here is answering questions that people have asked over the last 4 months. And again, I have to wonder why even bother. It's been 4 months on internet time. That's basically ancient history. Like, that's back there with like Y2K now. Most people have moved on and forgotten about it. So it's a little weird to be this tardy to the party with addressing these things. Now, of course, I understand this was like a career-ruining moment for him, so he wants to do his best to be perceived positively again, both by movie execs as well as the general public. So if he really did feel strongly enough that he wants to apologize, then all power to him. But anyway, the first question that he addresses here is one that I don't think anyone with half a brain ever asked in the first place. Why didn't you apologize to Chris during your acceptance speech? The answer should be pretty obvious if you have eyes. It's because he was still mad.
Exactly.
He was still fuming. Of course he wasn't going to apologize for it. Literally 15 minutes before he accepted that award, he had just charged the stage like The Undertaker during WrestleMania going into the ring and clobbered Chris. So of course he's not going to immediately like fold and be like, man, sorry Chris, that was out of line. He was still upset. That's why he didn't apologize. I don't really understand his excuse of I was still, you know, in a fog. It was all still fuzzy. Like in the moment that makes sense, but over the last 4 months, what, you've just been in a perpetual fog? You've been in like the upside down or something? Like, what do you mean? You've had 4 months.
No, I mean, that's true. But I mean, the question was worded, why didn't he apologize to him during the acceptance speech? Because I see what Charlie is saying here, but we're talking about the acceptance speech. But I do understand what he's saying too, because during that whole 4-month time period, he still didn't apologize. But I thought he did, though. I'm trying to remember. I could have sworn that he kind of did. I don't know.
If you wanted to publicly apologize to Chris and you didn't. And even to be fair here, you still don't. He says I'm sorry to a lot of people, but the one person he doesn't say the words I'm sorry to is Chris.
I've reached out to Chris, and the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk, and when he is, he will reach out. So I will say to you, Chris, I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk.
That almost sounds like a trap, like, hey, I'm here whenever you're ready to talk. And it turns out Will's been training for the last 4 months with slap boxing, so he's been like slapping brick walls until they collapse.
Then the second Chris Rock shows up, he's like, hey, Will! Haven't seen you ever since, you know what? Mink just fucking slaps him so hard. Yo, just straight up. You know when you get your ass beat in Soul Calibur and your fucking voice echoes? KO! I know that's probably a different game, but I know in Soul Calibur that shit happens.
So he's ready to really get him with like a double whammy. Get him with that encore performance. There's a big difference between saying, I apologize to you, and I'm sorry. I don't think people really understand the value of just saying, I'm sorry. I think it's the most important thing to say during an apology, which he does say later on to other people, but never Chris. To Chris, he just says, I apologize, and the action was unacceptable. Which is, you know, that's good, that's definitely a start, but I really think you needed that cherry on top here of an I'm sorry. This is also just one of those things that should have been handled privately. I'm sure there were plenty of ways in the pipeline to let Chris know that you were genuinely remorseful for what happened, but I understand why he thought this was a good idea. I'm gonna make a video coming forward, publicly apologizing and owning up to my mistakes, letting people see how horrible I feel and what I'm doing to change and be better. The thought process makes sense. You know, let people see a vulnerable side of you and let them know.
But then at the same time, you kind of brought it back up, which is a bit of a problem. Because everybody kind of forgot about the situation. Everybody let the shit go already. People stopped caring. But then you kind of reignited this flame that really did not need to get reignited. Like what he was saying where they should have squashed the beef maybe privately, I feel like would have been better. But then at the same time, like he said again, I understand Will Smith's thought process because he wants to publicly do it. Just in case he's ever in a scenario where somebody's like, hey, you never apologized for this. He could be like, yeah, bitch, I kind of did. Go check it out on my YouTube channel, motherfucker. How about you hit that subscribe button as well while you're at it? You fucking, you know, he could go off, but I guess that's why he did it. Yo, JD with the 5 gifted. Yo, JD. Yo. Thank you, baby. Thank you. JD with the 5 gifted, man. Thank you so much. How you been, J Daddy? Jada, he's an OG of the stream, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you for coming through.
That you made a mistake and you know that. And that,
I hope work hasn't been kicking your ass too much, JD.
Does make sense to anyone who's never been on the internet. I think one thing most people online are starting to understand and wake up to is that when you make an apology video, you lose. It's like what War Games taught us. The only
True. That's what I said. True. I do agree with that sentiment. That's why whenever I see people online getting canceled and shit, and then they submit to the mob and then make an apology, I'm like, you just making it worse. Because here's the thing. You could apologize and people will still not accept your apology after you apologize. So what's the fucking point? At this point, just go out like a boss. Be like, where's my apology? Yo, suck my dick. I ain't giving you no goddamn apology.
winning move is not to play.
Exactly.
When you make an apology video, it is a lose-lose situation for you. You're either going to have people that don't believe that you're actually sorry, or they're...
You didn't cry hard enough. Oh, how come you did the big sigh? You're checking off boxes. Oh, I barely saw any tears in his eyes. Oh, his voice didn't sound raspy like he meant it. You said, why you gotta stream right now? Stardust Bay, I've been streaming for about 2 hours and 40 minutes.
They're going to have people that think that you didn't need to apologize in the first place, so now you look stupid. You look like a pussy. Which I'm already seeing with Will Smith's apology. Like, why is he apologizing? He stood up for his wife. Does he not support his wife anymore? Oh my god, I've lost all respect for Will with this apology now. And then on the other side of that coin is, man, Will really needed to apologize, but this apology video was so dog shit, he missed the mark entirely. This is the worst apology video I've ever seen in my life.
You lose no matter what.
An apology. So again, this should have just been private.
Yeah.
3 months replaying and understanding the nuances and the complexities of what happened in that moment.
You slap the shit out of a man. It's not that deep. Talking about it like it's the most complex situation of all time. Like this slap was somehow, you know, like a Cold War or something here.
I mean, I understand what Charlie is saying, but at the same time, it's kind of like you can I'm trying to think about it in Will's perspective. Though the reason why he's describing it the way that he is because, you know, when you're in the middle of a situation where you're heated and you're angry, it's like high key, it's like time almost stops. Like the whole animation of you getting up, walking up to him, doing all this extra shit. When you're pissed the fuck off and you're only seeing red and all you got in your head is just attack, everybody else from the outskirts and from the sidelines look at you like, oh, he's just getting up and shit. No, there could be a whole different thing going on in your head. Yeah, I keep saying animation. That's like a bad habit that I have nowadays. Like I could literally see my mom walking and probably like doing something, and I'm like, my mom's animated. Terrible example, but it's like, it's stupid. If I see somebody do something, get up or sit down, I'm like, cool animation. I'm a geek. Assaults and swearing on live TV. You said it was a career damaging move for him as an actor. It was. It all becomes automatic. Worst choice for his moment. We live in a simulation. I don't know, man. I've been watching too much fucking Geyser. I think I'm a bot. Man sees someone standing and in between frame. Yo, when I see a lot of people's idle animations when I'm at Starbucks, I'm like, yo, crazy. And you know what's crazy? Also, I always catch myself on a rainy day when I'm walking home and it's raining and I look down at the puddles and I see the reflections. I'm like, this ray tracing is crazy. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I'm in real life. We are all NPCs. True. So who's the main character? Did he just say idle animations? Yes. Damn, we look at 60 frames IRL. True. Bro, what?
It was a simple act that affected a decent chunk of people. Chris, most notably, I would say, was physically affected by the slap, but Will's career was also hurt by it. Chris's family was probably pretty upset by it. Like, yes, of course, people were affected by it, but it's not like it...
You said, why you got motion blur? You only get motion blur when you're high or when you're, like, drunk. Like when you drink a lot and you're like past tipsy, you're not full blown drunk, but you're like in the tipsy zone, getting like farther in there. You definitely see that fucking motion blur. You'll like look to the left and your screen is still here. This is you when you're drunk. You're like, screen still here, then it sways. You look up, then it goes up. Mad slow motion.
Retro be analyzing people's frame data when they blinks.
When they blink? True. True. Well, not really.
There needs to be like 4 months spent of just digesting this giant web that all spawned from a slap. Because, again, at the end of the day, it's really not that deep.
After Jada rolled her eyes, did she tell you to do something? No. It's like, you know, I made a choice on my own, from my own experiences, from my history with Chris. Jada had nothing to do with it.
Jada was behind the camera with a teleprompter and a gun, making sure this question was addressed properly. Of course, I'm kidding. You know, Jada just has very odd moments publicly with Will that I think are...
No, yeah, what sucks is that Jada doesn't even support him at least. Like, that's the thing that pisses me off personally. I'm like, yo, at least support your man. Right? You're ride or die. He got up and fucked up potentially his career because he was defending your name. And then for you to then say in an interview, I don't need no man to defend me. I'm like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. I'm gonna make sure the next comedy show we go to, they roast the fuck out of you, bro. I'm hoping people go off and say, Caillou looking ass, Oswald bald head ass, cue ball looking ass. Like, yo, I need them to just roast her, and Will just needs to just smile. He got a smile like So Sejima when she's getting roasted.
Very tasteless in the things she says to and about Will. And it's the reason why a lot of people felt like she may have contributed to this overreaction.
Baldy's
from Will.
basic.
You know, her rolling her eyes and then just having all of that context with the things she has said publicly about and to Will just made people wonder whether or not she was somehow involved in that decision from Will. But he's clearing the air here, saying that it was just him doing it. And you know what? I'll take his word for it. I think this was just an impulsive decision here. I don't think Jada had some kind of device that she can control Will's brain like something out of Dexter's lab. I really think he just completely overreacted and went fucking berserk here for some reason. And I don't think Jada is necessarily guilty of that, but I do think she is guilty of being a very toxic partner. I know that sounds parasocial to say, but the amount of clips and videos of Jada just shitting on Will to his face is baffling. Like the time where she was just talking about cheating right to him and how much she like enjoyed it or whatever during their red table talk. Oh my god, it's so hard to sit through. As Will's like in tears about it, she's just joking. Oh man, it's fucking brutal. And so now Will looks like a cuck. I mean, I'm just not a big Jada fan. I'll say it.
Yeah.
I don't think she's that nice.
Yep.
What would you say to the people who looked up to you before the slap, or people who expressed that you let them down?
Bro, hold on. That was actually a question. Go back a little bit. What would you say to the people who looked up to you before the slap, or people who expressed that you let them down? Bro, yo, people acting like this slap fucked them up so emotionally. I don't know, bro. You said, why these Jada ass fans guilt tripping him? Bro, I don't know, but I feel like they bugging out with that shit. Like, there's no way people lost sleep because of this. You said, guy having the best crying sex? It was just a slap. No, it was just a slap. Yeah, that's true. But then, like, how people are acting like, come on, man. Letting people down? Who the fuck are you letting down? To be honest, when that shit happened that day, I still remember when it happened. I was playing Elden Ring. I was farming with the crow, hitting him with the arrow, and he was falling off the cliff, and then that's when we found out about it. I was farming in Elden Ring, but for people to get let down, I'm like, relax, it's not that serious. Like, you act like you know Will Smith on a personal level, and you probably watched like 2 of his movies, and then like, come on, it's not that serious.
Or people who expressed that.
Like me, if you ask me personally about the whole situation, this apology that he posted, I was like, I thought the apology was fine. A lot of people said that it wasn't fine. I thought it was personally fine. I'm not losing sleep over this Will Smith situation. I still think he's personally a good person. I think he's still a good actor. I just think that he obviously had a moment of weakness and he just made a really dumb, impulsive decision. Long story short. And everybody makes mistakes. Nobody is perfect. We're all human. That's my mentality on this. But then you know that there's going to be these people on the internet that's going to be like, no, you're supposed to be perfect. You're supposed to be doing everything exactly right. And I'm like, suck my dick to that statement. Because we're all human. Everybody's going to make a mistake at some point in time. This was just one of his really big fuck ups. But people move on from this and they grow as a person. That's it.
You let them down.
Let me just stop you right there. You don't have to apologize to me. I found this whole thing to be highly entertaining.
True.
I thought this was extremely goofy, and no one seriously got injured or anything like that. This was just an absolute fucking wild moment. And honestly, for this section, he should have just said, "You're welcome," you know, to the journalist that wouldn't stop fucking writing about it, like a million articles all going deep into it for no fucking reason, talking about how this is setting a bad precedent and how in the next Oscars, all of a sudden people might be showing up there with battle axes to attack their critics, how journalists are no longer safe, you know, this and that. Like, he honestly should have just said, "You're welcome," for the 2 weeks of just articles and videos about it. Now, of course, there were super fans of Will that were disappointed to see this, and I think it's cute that he said that he was sorry for it and letting them down. He apologized to Chris's family, his family, for the negative backlash they've faced. He apologized to pretty much everyone that was directly impacted by it. And now in this section, he's talking about how horrible he feels when he doesn't live up to people's image of him. And I will say he does seem pretty sincere for the most part. But again, it's been 4 months. Most people have moved on. This was pretty unnecessary.
Yeah.
Though I'm sure a lot of people that did feel like really disappointed appreciate the gesture.
Disappointing people is my central trauma. I hate when I let people down. It hurts me psychologically and emotionally to know I didn't live up to people's image and impression of me. Deeply remorseful. And I'm trying to be remorseful without being ashamed of myself, right? I'm human. And I made a mistake.
But yeah, he finishes it off by saying that he is remorseful and he's, you know, working on being better. And if you stick with him, you can all be friends again. And that's basically where it concludes. Overall, I don't think it's like the worst apology ever, especially in the tier list of YouTuber apologies. I think this one was one of the more sincere ones, at least from everything I've seen from it. Unless I've been deceived by his great acting, I couldn't tell you. But this is just one of those situations that is so wild to me. Why do this 4 months later? If he had done this like a day, 2 days, even a week after this happened, I think the reception to it would have been much better than it.
Kind of true. I agree with that. I agree with that heavy. But yeah, for him to... I mean, you know what? There's a saying that goes better late than never. At least he did it. Even though it was late as fuck, because realistically speaking, 4 months is a long time. Better late than never. At least he did it.
Currently is. Yes, it still has, I think, a pretty positive reception overall from like his actual like dedicated fans. But the general consensus I'm seeing here is, why is he doing this? This seems very fake to do it now. It's way too late. We've all moved on, this and that. So again, you don't really win with an apology video, but if he'd at least made like a statement like this, a big statement like this, right after it happened, I think he would have been in a much better position now than he is currently, if that makes sense. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about this since the slap is the gift that just keeps on giving. Somehow, there is still developments with that whole story that keep happening. And anyway, that's about it. See ya.
Great video.